Chernosky from Texas A&M University, Kingsville, presenting a powerful and thought-provoking talk titled, "If Algorithms Could Speak, Who Would They Silence?" Okay, let's welcome Dr. Chernosky as he challenges us to think critically about voice, bias, and the power in the age of AI. Thank you.
Well, good morning. Can you hear me today?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I'll be sharing my screen here in just a moment as we get started here.
You can tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Jeffrey, and then you can start.
Okay. Well, I'm Dr. Jeff Chernosky. I'm assistant professor, assistant dean, and director of our Center for Faculty Excellence at Texas A&M University in Kingsville, Texas. It's early morning for us here in our part of the U.S., so we're ready to get going. This is our second time presenting here, and just a great time. We're looking forward to a great time. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. So you can continue then.
All right. So hopefully you'll be seeing our screen here.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. And then we'll go to the presentation. If algorithms could speak, who would they silence? For too long, we've been forced to accept the way others perceive us, and AI has only illuminated these disparities. And today we'll explore how generative AI becomes more than a tool. It becomes a mirror, reflecting of what we value, who we listen to, and ultimately how we teach leadership in online environments. You know, a course teaches more than its syllabus. It's a hidden curriculum. Our unspoken lessons are about power, culture, and belonging. It shapes who feels seen and who stays silent. And these things often hide in the algorithms, but these are things that we often control. Things like, well,
Sorry, Dr. Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Sorry, your PowerPoint is not moving. I don't know. Should it? It was just on that one. It was on one screen. So do you want that? Did you want it to move? I think it was not in presentation mode.
It was moving on my screen. So
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get the. Let me share it there. Are you able to see it now?
I see the same screen as what I've seen just now.
Let's see.
So
well, hopefully it will. I see what it's doing. It's.
You should maybe go to present. Let's just see there. If you go to slideshow, yeah, there you go. I think it will help now. Yes, we can now only see. Yeah, so okay. I can only see a page on the screen now.
But you're seeing the actual screen, not the text.
Yes,
right?
Yes, I don't see the screen. I don't see the text. Yes, that's great.
Now it should be switching for us, right?
Good, switching.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll get started again then. All right. All right, should start for us. All right. Yeah, I see where it's not advancing for us here. There we go. So our course teaches more than its syllabus. It has a hidden curriculum, and our unspoken lessons talk about power, culture, and belonging, and it shapes who feels seen and who stays silent, as I mentioned before. And these lessons often hide in the algorithms. There are design choices and tone, and they quietly shape the power and access behind the scenes. These things we often control. The project that we're talking about today started with a question to my students: what stories are missing from our leadership education? Though they spoke about forgotten figures, community organizers, bilingual educators, women who'd led from the margins, but they also talked about their own stories of being left out. So we built a podcasting experiment to find them. Each student designed a podcast simulating an interview with a historically marginalized educational leader. And using generative AI, they restructured voices and they crafted some questions. And then they reflected on how technology can recover or distort the past. And it was a journey both in art and inquiry. A lot of fun. Audiovisual storytelling centers voice, literally and metaphorically. Podcasts are intimate and portable. They humanize our experiences. And students even said, I finally heard leadership sound like home. And that basic idea built the trust from abstract ideas like ethics and bias. It became personal. Students used AI tools, ChatGPT, 11 Labs, Audition, and Podcastle to synthesize these voices and remix them. And they investigated the algorithms and training data. The goal was not perfection, but provocation. AI helped them learn how these components often tilt the narrative. Through critical digital andragogy, the course positioned AI as both subject and collaborator. Students learned with technology, not just from it. And they examined how data sets carry cultural assumptions and how course design reflects that factor of visibility and authority. I approached this as an educator, learning alongside my students. My reflections became data too. How did my own biases surface when guiding choices? When did I step in as a mentor? When did I just need to listen? It allowed me to grow as much as my students. In leadership education, we often traditionally celebrate charisma, control, all of those things. But this project reframed leadership as just listening. Students realized that understanding the power of AI required a great deal of humility and, yes, cultural intelligence. It wasn't just the command of tools. As we say, people first, technology second. In South Texas, language and culture intersect deeply, and our students integrated Spanglish and testimonies into their scripts. And when creating these new AI scripts, students were forced to confront accent, authenticity. It caused us to ask, could a machine really carry our abuela's wisdom? Now, each episode of this AI ethics log, we documented these things, decisions, data sources, content, tone, purpose, all those things. And they provided a living record of our experiences. As one student wrote, I did not want AI to speak for my leader. I wanted it to help me listen better. And that changed our course forever. By the end of the semester, students reported high confidence in AI usage in the agency and understanding the systems. It became more of a tool and less of the unknown. More importantly, they recognized their capacity to challenge inequities. They began to say, I can lead in digital spaces without losing my identity. As a cohort, we recognize that leadership online teaches hidden lessons about speed and data over reflection. And our project slowed things down. It invited students to honor silence and community, qualities that seldom fit into algorithms, but they actually define authentic leadership. When students examined data sets used to train these voice models, they saw that there were certain voices that dominated. It was a history lesson wrapped in code. And as we often say, bias is not accidental, it's historical. And this compelled us all to act differently as educators and as students. One student said, I thought I was just making a podcast, but I was actually reclaiming a voice. And another said, AI helped her speak with rather than about the past. And those moments reminded me why we teach, to awaken consciousness, not just compliance. This project offers a reproducible framework. Faculty can adapt it across multiple disciplines: engineering ethics, nursing compassion, business leadership, all of this centering on the cultural relevance and human dignity at the heart of any learning experience. Our study is rooted in South Texas, but the model is globally adaptable. We built on the work of others in Japan, Finland, and Brazil who had piloted similar versions, exploring how AI voices intersect with local traditions. It turns out that leadership education is universal in its desire for authenticity. This work bridges Yoso's cultural wealth model, Rendon's validation theory, and Garcia's servingness framework. Each reminds us that while learning is transactional, more importantly, it's relational. AI cannot replace empathy, but it can amplify it when we use it with care in our culture. So what's next? Well, we're expanding the project through an online portal called Operation Time Raiders, connecting oral histories and AI. Imagine students conversing with virtual mentors who speak from archives. Leadership reborn through the act of what? Listening, the art of storytelling, and just genuine humanity. Ultimately, this presentation is a call to educators. Let AI be a catalyst for inclusion, not erasure, and let it help us hear the whispers beneath the syllabus, the hidden curriculum of care and community, not for some learners, but for all learners. Leadership begins when we learn to listen.
Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. I think that we are going to move into our next presentation, and that will be from